creature.
I love this guy. Radiates the most goo.
Kogma mi moc cool nepřijde, no. To je takový prostě brouk, který bleje, no. To je všechno. Nejvíc cool šampioni v celém LoLku. Kdo to je, vole, čete, co? Kde je nejvíc cool šampion v celém LoLku? No, asi jich bude víc, ty vole. Myslím, nikdo mě nenapadá.
A lot of videos, a lot of them about my different takes about certain champions. You may have noticed, and I hope I have made it abundantly clear, that I am biased. And so is everyone. For example, Koga. Is he well designed in any facet from a more objective standpoint? No, not really. But he is one of my favorite champions. And in counter argument to that, say Ivern, for example. I love Ivern. He's one of my favorites.
No, Ivern je bowler. On je osobitý. Je svůj.
Scooch, good friend of mine for many years now, has repeatedly told me to my face he thinks Ivern is terrifying and creepy. However, Ivern is not real. You don't have to like Ivern just because I do, right? And because I do get very critical of champions sometimes, and I don't want to come off as cynical. So today, I would just like to talk about something positive. I am removing all objectivity. These could all be champions that, by the general consensus of the community, think they're terrible, but I just want to talk about characters that I just adore. So this is a good one to start with because I mentioned him already. Is Cho'Gath an objectively good character? I don't think so.
Nevím, no.
But he's very special to me. This was the character that got me into League of Legends in the first place. This Violator from Spawn, rip-off, no lore having.
Je takový pomalej, tlustej, strašně pomalu kástí spely. Všechno hitne, protože je úplně obrovský, že jo. Jako je to zábavný na jednu stranu, že můžeš prostě stakovat do nekonečna a ta myšlenka, že budeš prostě vole obrovský tlustý prasech vole chodící po tom riftu, že? A druhou stranu je takovej, no nevím, strašně lehce outplaynout to lejnou.
Color swap chroma looking ass bug thing was the character that got me into League. If I remember correctly, I believe first skin I ever bought was for Cho'Gath back in 2012. Cho'Gath was the character that got me into League. However, Blitzcrank was the first character I ever played. Blitz always embodied this kind of aura of fun. Blitz is never meant to be competitively viable. They're just silly. They're just
A hlavně je občas viable v kompetitivním hraní, jo.
This big, dumb-looking robot sprinting at you at Mach 50, slowing their own self for whatever reason. They never used to do that. And then you just hook someone, you just grab them. One of those characters that I can never have a bad time. Man, Renata's just...
No, byli se zábavný, no. To taky jednou čas hraju a hlavně do full HP a to je lahodina.
The coolest. How fun is that to just take the enchanter and just do a complete 180? Being this sociopathic CEO, she will kill you at a moment's notice so she can get more money. Man, her whole existence just makes me happy. Even though we didn't get Sickle, the result was just another character.
No, Renata je náhrada za Silka, no, který měl být jako v LoLku, ale oni se rozhodli, že nakonec Silka do LoLka nedají a dají tam Renatu, no.
That is just so freaking cool. There he is. There's Yorick. Can't believe it, Mr. Mori himself. For those who weren't there, Yorick's rework was launched on the exact same patch that Mastery 6 and 7 were released. I was on vacation and I had my laptop with me and I just had to play him, and because nobody played him.
To je závisláctví, jo. Hrál ty na dovolené LoLko.
And because his stats had been basically retooled, it took me 5 games to get Mastery 7 on Yorick, because I already had Mastery 5. His stats were so bad, I went in one game something like 2-6 and 0 and got an S. That's how bad his stats were. So Yorick was the first champion I got Mastery 7 on. Infectious smile. I freaking love Alawi, dude. There's no character in the game like her. There's been so many characters that Riot has kind of left in the dust, like especially in Season 6, right? Like poor Kled, poor Talia. It overjoys me that Riot has essentially brute forced Alawi into being an icon of the game. She's everywhere now. She's not in Wild Rift yet, as far as I recall, but making her a main character in Ruin King, and her being an LOR, and her in 2XKO allows the new Lux. That would imply she gets like 3 skins a year. I think you guys have probably inferred.
Kde ještě nejvíc cool, jako z LoLka? Jako designem třeba. Jhin, ty vole, Jhin, no, teď mě to napadlo. Jhin, Aatrox, hláškama, designem, vzhledem prostě, no, a i gameplayem asi. Jhin, Aatrox, 100%. Z už je takový jako starý dost, no, nestejný od Season 2 nebo od Season 3, kdy ho vydali. A Felios asi taky, ale Jhin má asi furt jakoby trochu lepší ten design. Něco mi třeba ještě napadá, no. Jako Mordekaiser asi, no, taky. Kterýho jsem teďka hrál.
In terms of characters, I like playing what's unpopular. When I was in high school, I went through a bit of a crisis where I was like, everything that I like is not what everyone else likes. So I like gaslit myself. I'm like, maybe I need to learn to like the popular stuff. I didn't like it. But the outlier is that I did like Lux. It didn't work. The group of people in my high school, I'm like, wow, wait, I actually really like this popular character. And you know what I get met with? You like the girly character? Screw you, high school. I'm gonna play what I like. Big Bear. I love this guy. So the reason Volibear is special to me is because I loved old Volibear. That was one of my favorite characters.
No, ten byl ale strašně useless, no, před Ravorkem už. Ten Ravork potřeboval strašně nutně.
Because he was just stupid. It was just a lightning bear. And then they reworked him, and then it all vanished. I would never take old Volley back.
Byl takový goofy, no, ten starý Volibear.
Compared to the current one. He's so fun. He looks great too. All the voice lines he has with his brother.
Jako jeho hlas je tak 1000krát lepší teďka. Celkově je daleko lepší, no, než ten starý Volibear.
And the lore, he's just a narcissistic boomer, and I kind of love him for that. This is my boy, little Coggy. Creature. I love this guy. Radiates the most
Koga mi moc cool nepřijde, no, to takový prostě brouk, který bleje, no. To je všechno.
Uber energy. He still doesn't look like this in game. I would love for him to get a visual update at some
Kane a Kindred jsou taky hodně cool čempové, pravda, no. Pravda.
I think part of the reason I always loved Kog'Maw is because I think...
A i ten Diego, no, taky. Takový nejvíc ikoničtí čempové pro LoLku, no. Jako já nad tím přemýšlím z toho lorového hlediska, kdo je jako cool v loru, a no. Což jako třeba Jax, no. A když se řekne slovo Jax, tak prostě lidi, vole, dneska říkají Annie, vole, a GG, no.
Compared to any other character in the game, the difference between AP and AD Kog'Maw, it's not like Lucian, where like AP Lucian is like a cheesy meme strat.
Nice!
AP and AD Kog'Maw play like such completely different characters, and I love that. And of course he has B-Maw, my favorite skin in the whole game. I think actually that's another reason why I love Kog'Maw so much, because unlike Cho'Gath, where Kog'Maw also has like zero personality and no lore at all, Kog'Maw is special because the community made one for him. And I love that. Arriving late to the party is probably a good one for this one, because this character is Lilia. When she came out, I was completely indifferent and
Mně vůbec třeba na to, no, nepřijde zajímavá.
in fact, I actively did not like her because we had so many...
Už všude byly mýmy o tom, že prostě Hekarim opíchal Zoe nebo tak něco, ne? A z toho vznikla prostě Lilia nebo tak nějak, ne?
Characters that are just designed to be very, you know, attractive,
všude s tím byly mýmy v tu dobu.
appealing, that kind of thing in a row. To say Lilia was our monster character, quotation marks, I was upset. I was like, man, I was hoping for like, you know, a monster. That's not a big monster. That's a lady with a deer duct taped to her torso. One day, Riot announced that they were buffing some stuff that would allow for lane Lilia to function a little bit more. I think it was probably like healing and lower mana or something. And I thought, what the hell? Why not? And like the light switch. Oh my god. This is great. Wait, I love this. I kind of realized more stuff about her that I did like. She's technically Ivern's granddaughter. Like, wait a second. It was Destiny. Her personality just like super kind of shy, timid. I'm like, wait, she's just like me for real. This one's a little sad now because unfortunately, the voice actor passed away, but not you.
Jo, je pravda, no. Ten voice actor od toho Rasta nedávno umřel, no. Byl už asi docela starý, myslím, že no.
You up here, Rost. I like Kane. Kane's cool, but Rost is where it's at for me. Probably could tell by my own...
Jako Rast je trochu víc cool než samotný Kane, že? Ale to je nezajímavé, no. Jako, no, tak samozřejmě, když je nějaký monstrum a normální týpek, tak vždycky bude to monstrum zajímavější, že jo, než
personality, my own avatar stuff, that I love characters that have massive amounts of gremlin energy, and I think Rost has that in spades. He's just this little creature that thinks he's so much stronger than he actually is. I love that. I love Warwick so much. I got to a point when I was playing League where Warwick eclipsed Ivern in terms of mastery, and I actually felt guilty. I felt like I was betraying Ivern. I loved Warwick so much because reworks up till this point were more like Gallia. Warwick was special because he was not deleting old Warwick, he was reinventing it. Just modernized the character, but in every way still felt like Warwick. Just, this is what he should have always been. I really do.
Starý Warwick byl takovej, já nevím, no, on měl Erko, že ti skočil za záda instantně a stunul tě a jakoby dával ti damage, jo, a to healovalo. Jeho kvéčko bylo byl heal, stejně jako teďka, dávalo to AD a AP damage, mohl se to stavit AP a AD, ale to jeho kvéčko nemělo takový ten jump, jak teďka, no. Teďka to kvéčko má daleko víc jako broken, no, než předtím, to určitě, jo. No celkově je prostě lepší, no, řekl bych.
Love new Scarner. It is sad to lose what we lost. Riot saying that you can't empathize with a victim, that kind of stuff, and losing the whole Crystal Scorpion thing. But this new version, this giant kaiju earthbender.
Ten nový Scarner se mi nelíbí třeba upřímně, no. Jako gameplayem je asi lepší to, jo, ale loreově a designově, nevím.
Twisted good intentions, guardian angel, protector of Ishtal, but maybe not for the right reasons anymore. The painted decorations from the people who adored him as a god. The skill expression he can do now, just throwing a freaking boulder at people. The role diversity, he's not locked to the jungle anymore. It's mixed, where it's like, I will always miss the old Scarner, because Scarner was one of my favorites too. Like, look how high up he is. Whenever you say you like Ornn, it's like, oh, so you're a Redditor. I don't know where that came from. I think it's a little funny, but I've always loved Ornn. And just what he offered.
Jo, Ornn je hustý, no. A i Volibear. Jsou cool postavičky. Jak loreově, designově, gameplayově, hláškama, jsou popičinou oba.
For the Freljord. The idea of finally having the blacksmith in the game, and again, very introverted guy. Yeah, I love how grumpy and pissy he is all the time.
Jsou takový dva boomři, no. Ornn a Volibear. Nesnášejí nové věci, jsou nepříjemní. Volibear nemá rád nové věci teda hlavně. Ornn zase nemá rád lidi a jako je introvert a chce mít samotu furt, že?
We'll go over there. I do not need company. And yeah, he's so huggable looking too. I love his design. I love how he plays. I love how he breathes so much life into the Freljord. There's no Freljord character like him, of having this god of the forge, but then I never noticed there's a bird on his horn. How did I never notice that? He's been out for 7 years. How did I never notice he's got a bird? There's another situation with like Volibear where I loved this guy before and after the rework. Nunu and William. I loved old Nunu because
William?
It was like, it was just turn your brain off, run around the map like an absolute idiot, and sneeze a snowball at him. It was so dumb and so silly.
No, starý AP, no.
Nunu is peak child's character because he embodies.
No je dobré, no, ale není moc populární v loreově, ani her jakoby gameplayově, no.
He's exactly the kind of stuff you would want from a kid character. He is all about that childlike wonder and imagination. It's like a character that makes you feel like a kid again. And he plays like one too. And just having...
Já myslím, že se to určitě nevyslovuje William. To jsem říkal.
That's the most huggable character.
To jsem aspoň slyšel, že řekl, a to je jedno.
I have 2 Willump plushies. I want giant Willump plushie, please. I need a huggable Willump ASAP. And the last one is, I mean, it's obvious. Ivern released, I believe, only a few days before my birthday. Happy birthday? Ivern is special. When
Ivern hráč, jo?
I saw Ivern, something clicked. And so I tried him and it was terrible. And I kind of...
Já jako nemám rád jeho gameplay, ale jinak se mi líbí Ivern jako loreově a i těma hláškama, jaký je takový svůj prostě, no, takový osobitý dost odlišný od ostatních.
Dedicate myself.
Ale gameplayově je to prostě enchanter, no, nevím, to není moc, nikdy mi moc jako na to nevyhovoval.
To trying to become better Ivern because I just thought he was the coolest thing. One day I was playing League of Legends on my lunch break and I encountered a Riven player. It's funny because this Riven player was the nicest person.
A vidíš to, on tam měl na alertu Iverna, aha, já má na alertu Iverna, takže to je Ivern hráč. Nebo jako Daisy teda, no, dobře. I když to může být i vlastně ten, že golem jakoby od Redka, ale to bude spíš ta Daisy podle mě.
There was the nicest person I'd ever interacted with in League. He invited me to his server. There's like a little private server with a bunch of friends. And suddenly, where in high school I've been alone for almost the entire time, save for like one friend, suddenly I had friends. Sadly, that whole friend group, we've split ways since then. But it also helped me to just try and do fun stuff. And then I tried Ivern mid, and I ended up really liking Ivern mid. And I thought this is even funnier to do better on a character that people don't think is good on
Ivern s Rengárem na botu třeba. To je ptákovina.
A build that seems completely unorthodox and useless and then still doing decently. And it was also the time when I started really
Já podle, že bych si mohl brzo zahrát třeba AP Iverna, to je sranda, s maskou AP Ivern. Maska, klobouk, Shadow Flame, Storm Surge. Dá to bomby jako prase těma shieldama.
Wanted to start making my own YouTube videos. If anyone here remembers Magikarp's League of Failures, I would upload stuff there all the time, and I would edit them instead of just uploading a raw clip. And eventually started recognizing me through that. And then I started to build up a small reputation as the Ivern mid guy. And then some way or another, I got contacted by Ross Boomsocks and we did a video together. And that boosted my channel a lot. And then connections happen. I get a job working for Magikarp as an editor. Then I become a channel manager. Then I start working for Scooch. And then some of my own videos pop off. And then now fast forward, here we are today. So technically, my whole YouTube channel exists because of a silly tree guy. And it all went downhill, yep. In a weird roundabout way, he's kind of the origin of it all. He's very, very special to me. So I think we leave it at that. If you have any champions that you absolutely love, in spite of everything, regardless of what anyone says, let me know. Like, why are they your favorite? Or do they nostalgia? You love playing them, you love how they look, whatever it is. It is awesome that people can find such enjoyment in this stuff. So,
jaký bys tam ještě přidal,
watching end video.
Dobré videjko, dám tam Jankos. Já jsem si mohl říct všechny čempy z LoLka, vole, že všech 170 čempů si nepamatuju. Tady čempové jsou nejvíc cool. Tak asi tady bych vybral toho Vátroxe. Jako Aurelion je kinda cool, že? Aphelios taky celkem, Velvet taky ujde, Azir taky ujde. A budeme vybírat úplně ty nejlepší, jinak bych tady vyjmenoval půlku zase, že jo. Jako Darius asi. To bude asi hodně jako subjektivní, no, si myslím. Já to strašně hodnotím podle loreu, no. Já vždycky na tím uvažuji tak, že kdo má jako dobrý lore, kdo má špatný. Musím se to odnaučit. Fiddle třeba, že jo. Fiddle je skvělej. Musíme to brát jako z designového hlediska a gameplayového, nevím, celkového dojmu, řekněme. Ten Ivern určitě. Pro mě třeba asi Jarvan, ale tak to protože ho, vole, hraju furt, že? Jungly, nebo furt často. Kane 100%. Kled Kindred, to je jasný. Mordenasus bych tam dal, určitě. Asi Oriana Orn taky, jak říkal týpek. Pike, no. Pike je dobrý Pantheon taky. Ramus jako má nějakou osobnost, nebo jak to říct, i když jako nemá zároveň, že? Asi i ten René společně s tím Nasusem. Setu Flore je fajnový. Sinch je v pohodě, ale ve hře stojí za prd a v loru je úplně super. Swain taky, no. Ale zase nevím, jestli gameplayově, no úplně. Silas jak gameplayově, tak lorově. Co v pohodičce dost. Viego, Vlad, Volibear. Tady je 4. A Viktor možná dostane rework brzo. Tak asi dostane rework, tak asi i on se tady k těm 4 klidně může přiřadit. Ale ti 4 jsou fajn. Klorově taky asi ve hře bych řekl. Minimálně Volibear, Viego. Warwick určitě taky. Jorik, tyjo. Jorik je skvělý. Hlavně jeho český dubbing je úplně boží. A jeho náš asi taky, já se ho trochu míň možná. No asi tak, no já nevím, tak 10-15 postav, který tak jako vyčnívají pro mě.